So I want to talk about how, like, I've never been to a gym. Okay, like, well, I've been to a gym before, like, whatever. But like, I've never actually gone to the gym to work out and do this thing. Like, everything I've done has been at home workouts. For the past 2 years, I've been focused on actually getting in shape and like pushing myself and like building myself and like all of this other shit. But like 4 or 5 years ago, I was just watching this video about how it was from me, but like 4 or 5 years ago, I was on this jog and I was talking about like some shit, but like back then I wasn't really focused on it. It wasn't a thought process of like I'm gonna go for this jog because I want to get in shape. Like, no, it was just a I want to go for a jog. I want to go for a hike. I like 5 years ago I used to like I started this thing where I would like do these 50 push-ups in the morning like 3 4 times out of the week, and I would jog. Most of the time, I would just jog, and I would jog through the city. I would jog all the way up through the hills because there's hills all around. So I would jog up the hills, down the hills, all this other shit, whatever, all around the town. Jog down by the river, jog, basically just jog everywhere. And I would jog in extreme conditions, like if it was, I don't know, fucking 3 degrees outside, or -3 degrees Fahrenheit outside. I'm just sitting there like, just jogging. I'm like, it's perfect weather to jog, because at least I won't get hot. And then in the middle of the summer, when it's like 97 degrees outside, I'm just out there jogging because this is what I did back then, like 4 or 5 years ago. And I don't recommend people do shit like that, but like I don't even know what it was necessarily, because it wasn't that I wanted to get in shape. I wanted to strengthen my mind. Like, because back then, 5 years ago, like I was still smoking DMT here or there. I was still like that was my thing, but like because DMT was my thing, like even when because I was smoking it here and there, I wasn't smoking it like I used to. Um, it's like I just wanted to find different ways, different methods other than DMT to strengthen my mind. And I'm like, what better way to strengthen the mind than jogging in 97-degree weather up a hill? Like one of those things, or jogging in -3 degree weather down by the river, because then there's like on the path for some reason down by the river there'll be like these iceberg things that will stick up and out and up and out or whatever, but it will be like mixed with part of the dirt. So like I'll jog on them because they won't be really that slippery because they're mixed with the dirt. So I'm like kind of bouncing back and forth from them. And it's like different obstacles appear during different seasons of the year. like, um, so I just, for me, it's all about becoming a very strong version of me. Like, it's just, I want to be me. But who the fuck am I? What am I actually made out of? Like, I want to figure that shit out. I want to find out, what am I made out of? What can I handle? What, like, can I run in 97 degree weather, or do I have to, or can I only run in 90-degree weather? Like, I found out, yeah, I could run in 97-degree weather, but it could have been a dangerous thing because I could have dropped running up the hill. I could have just dropped. But I know myself. I know how to push myself. I know I drink more liquids than most humans probably do during the day. Um, I know that like little things like that I take care of my body in that way. And I've been doing this shit this whole time because it's been a fucking journey, right? Like I've been just documenting my journey, which the journey is just I need to figure out how to be me, how to live life, how to be a human, I had to figure out how to think, how to speak, how to whatever. Now that I'm 29, I'll be 30 in December. I'm sitting here like, I'll be entering my 30s in the best shape I've ever been in. But people only see me physically, so they're like, oh yeah, you're going to be entering your 30s in the best physical shape you've ever been in. But it's not just the physical shape. I could have entered my 30s like fat or extremely skinny, or like if I was fat now, I'd still be okay because my mind, like I worked on my mind. But like the lifestyle I live, it's hard for me to it would be hard for me to necessarily to get fat or whatever, because I really think that it's lifestyle. Because I don't go to a gym, that's why I'm in shape because of my lifestyle. I have knowledge because of my lifestyle. Like, this is a lifestyle to me. It's just my life. Like, people will, like I seen it the other day. I seen these people and they were, they posted some pictures about, their gym progress, and like, obviously I'm like, fuck yeah. No matter how small, no matter how little the progress is, that's amazing. But I look at me and I'm like, people look at me and I'm in better shape than some of these people that have been going to the gym for a couple of years. The reason though is because I started this lifestyle like 5 years ago. So 5 years of living a certain lifestyle has then built my body into what it is, has then built my mind into what it is. Like, people don't see it like this is with everything. With everything. Like, it's about the lifestyle. It's about your habits. I made a video and I watched it, like I made it like 4 years ago, but I watched it yesterday, and I was like, I was right. I was right in that video. That it's really about the habits. Like, what are your daily habits? What are your weekly habits? What are your monthly habits? If you don't audit your daily habits, audit your weekly habits, audit your monthly habits, then your life might not go where you want it to go, because you can be in control, right? If our life is like a car, most people, well, I don't want to say most, if our life is like a car, some people are just sitting in the passenger seat of their own life, and they don't realize that they can take the wheel, but the wheel is the car is driving itself like a Tesla. But in this situation, it's not good if the car drives itself, because it might take you to a place that you don't want to go to. It might take you down roads you don't want to go through. It might, like, do you get what I'm trying to say? That, like, it's really that we can choose our habits, which then over time create results. Like, 4 or 5 years ago, like, just starting these little habits, I literally 2 years ago, so 2 years into doing the things, I'm like, I don't see any results. But I wasn't seeing results, but I was definitely feeling them mentally. Like, I was mentally experiencing the mental results of pushing myself past my, like, give up points. Like, when I'm jogging all the way up this hill or whatever in the middle of the summer, and it's like, oh, I finally get to the top, and I'm like, I just want to stop. But how the fuck am I going to stop? I now have to go down the hill and then travel all the way across town just to get back to my house. So, like, it was like, I gotta keep going. Like, and I figured, and I would think to myself, well, if I walk, it's just going to take me longer. So I might as well just keep on running. And little habits like that, little things, the small things of like, I made it up the hill. I could have chose to walk down the hill, but I chose to keep running, um, because I was like, I kind of tricked myself. Be like, well, if I want to get home faster, I gotta, might as well run. It'll get me there faster. And it's like, even if that's true, I was tricking myself at the time just to push myself through. So like, but all of those things helped build my mind. Like, it's not just my body, it's my mind. Like, I am the strongest I have ever been in my entire life on every aspect. Like, and it's because the habits that I chose to adapt into my life. From like back then, 5 years ago, I would work out, then I would meditate, then I would use psychedelics, then like, whatever. And back then, I was using psychedelics with my friends, Fi and his wife. So like, we would like bounce experiences back and forth and talk and conversate and this and that. And that was trips with people are completely different than trips with yourself. But both have been beneficial to me. Back then it was trips with people. For the past 2 years, it's been trips with myself. I have tripped with myself. I have meditated while on the psychedelics. I have used mantras and all these different techniques and done oming meditation, like the typical the typical oming meditation. Um, like, all of these things have been beneficial to me. Self-discipline. So then I've practiced self-discipline, and you practice self-discipline, and then there's different focus practices, and I've mentioned them many times about the Bob Proctor focus practice, about like putting a dot on your wall and seeing how long you can focus on that dot, and basically improving your time of you being able to stare at that dot without looking away over time, which then is strengthening a certain part of your mind. There's the same thing with meditation. If you can only do the meditation for 2 minutes, then next time try 3 to 4 minutes. Then the next time try 5 to 8 minutes. Then the next time try, you know what I mean? And like keep getting. It's about slowly building yourself up. I didn't just, like, going down the spiritual shamanic journey with psychedelics. It wasn't just with psychedelics. I then, got to build relationships with certain plants and herbs, and like I've tried over 30 different plants and herbs, but only about 5 to 8 of them have truly helped me, and those 5 to 8 have become my helpers. But if I never went down the journey to try, well, let me try this plant, let me try this plant. Let me go on a plant dieta with this plant for 2 weeks. Let me go on a plant dieta with this plant for 2 weeks. And then it's like, well, I don't like that one, so I'm not gonna do that one again. But if I liked that one, I was like, oh, I did a plant dieta with it for 2 weeks. Well, let me expand that to 4 weeks, because it actually is beneficial. Blue vervain was a plant that truly helped me learn how to silence my mind. Like the first time I started using blue vervain, I noticed that like it's one of the only plants that like the voice in my head stopped, but in a good way. Not in a way where it's like I couldn't think if I didn't want to, just in a way that it was like weirdly silent in my mind. Weirdly, like kind of weirded me out. But that's what I feel like that's what the natives were talking about when they were talking about how like the plants are their helpers, their teachers, their guides, their friends. I get it, because like blue vervain taught me something that no psychedelic has ever taught me: how to silence my mind. Jogging in like, I don't know, 97-degree weather taught me something that psychedelics could not teach me. Like, psychedelics taught me something that working out couldn't teach me. Like, for me, this has all just become my life. Back 5 years ago, I was talking about how I live the herbal lifestyle. Like, I was like, well, I'm on the journey to become a modern day shaman, and I live this herbal lifestyle. And what I meant is other people take plants because they're like, oh, I want to heal, or they're looking to whatever, while I was looking for friends, for helpers, for teachers, for there's certain plants that I feel like could be like helpers in my life, tools or things that can just help me. Because it's the same thing with social media, or what I've done on the computer or the internet or whatever. All of these things are just tools that you can use to help you, but you'll never know what tool works best for you if you don't try. In the beginning, I was just trying a bunch of shit, trying a bunch of herbs, trying a bunch of these, trying psychedelics, but trying them different ways, tripping with friends, tripping alone, tripping while meditating, tripping while listening to like dance music and just dancing around the room, like all of these things heal in a different way, give something different. Like me tripping, dancing in my room by myself, but dancing in a weird trippy way, right? But just kind of letting my soul be free or whatever, is a completely different release and different healing thing than me sitting here tripping, listening to meditation music, maybe crying because I'm working through some of my like maybe like bullshit or things I needed to heal, or some of the pains that have happened to me, just kind of facing them, maybe just facing myself, like I'm not the man that I know I can be. So maybe I'm sad about that, crying, but like I can work through it while I'm tripping. But that type of thing gives me something different than just dancing, than the dancing in my room trip. The dancing in my room trip frees my soul. It releases tension from the body, from the daily normal life. Like, the normal human life will then put tension on your body, tension in your mind. Like, we gotta worry about our bills, we gotta pay this, we gotta do this, we gotta do that, we gotta, like all this extra shit, this normal human shit, right? The normal human world, other people's anxieties, other people's things can then almost like attach to you. And the trips where I'm sitting there just kind of dancing, being free, it's like releasing all of that and like getting it off of me. And then like I feel so much better afterwards. But I feel so much better afterwards in a different way than the trip where I'm just sitting there maybe working through some things. Or if I'm meditating, working through some things, and I'm like maybe crying, or just, I don't know, like having these insane spiritual visions of the spirit world and all this other shit, and facing myself and whatever, maybe like I'll feel so much better after that, but I'll feel so much better in a different way. Like, this has just become my life. Like, there is, I don't know how to explain it, other than like it's a lifestyle I live. Like, it's a shamanic lifestyle mixed with a healthy lifestyle, mixed with a musical lifestyle, because I make music, I DJ, I make videos, and like these videos that I make, like I call it many things. Like, you can call me whatever the fuck you want to call me, a content creator, whatever the fuck, a modern day shaman, an internet shaman, a whatever label you want to call it. It's just, I'm just kind of documenting, because that's really what I think I am more than anything, is a social media documenter, documenting my journey, So at first I was documenting my journey to become a modern day shaman. Now it's like I'm documenting my physical health journey. Then I'm documenting um I documented my DJ journey when 2 years ago was the first time I ever picked up a DJ controller, and I documented my journey of learning how to DJ. You guys probably seen that when I would do live streams about a year and a half ago. I would do live streams all the time of me, practicing DJ sessions, DJing my album, learning, scratching, learning how to mix the songs together and all this shit, whatever. And I documented the journey. I documented the journey after my ex left me. Like, you guys then seen a couple videos as soon as my ex left, and me just sitting there bawling my eyes out, being vulnerable on camera, just whatever. Because I'm just documenting shit as it's